You can never make it. You are a failure. That's literally how I felt starting out in real estate investing. You just gotta do it scared. I made so many mistakes, so I am here to make sure that you can learn from my journey and minimize your mistakes as much as possible and make your real estate investing journey that much more smoother and for you to win even quicker. That's what we're here for, because we're building a legacy here and nothing is going to stop us. Okay, let's go. I'm Rosie and I'm a real estate investor. I bought my first 5 properties in under 3 months. Yeah, that's crazy. So I've got tons of mistakes, but I put together a really strong 7. So stay to the end because number 7 will shock you. I'm still traumatized from it, okay? So let's go. Number 1, not vetting your realtor properly. I did not interview my realtor properly. Just because someone comes with a realtor title doesn't mean they know everything, especially real estate investing. I remember this one realtor I came across in the beginning. Oh my God. I was the one sending her leads for her to go and show me those houses. She needs to cut me a check. Like, I was setting up my own notifications to catch deals that came on the market quickly that fit my perspectives, and I sent it to her, and then we go see it. And she was all like, oh, yeah. No, honey, it's time to cut me a check now. Not all realtors are familiar with working with investors, even if they tell you they do. So as an aspiring investor, you want to come with your homework done, with some research done, with some questions on the table. Do some research about the market, understand how it fits into your business model, learn about the different processes of buying a home. Now, I know you might think, oh, a realtor should be able to teach you all this stuff, but they could be new and just not familiar with the requirements or kind of the criteria you're looking for that fits your business model versus somebody who's going out to buy the house and needs it in a certain area and all these different things. What your criteria is very different from that person looking to just buy their home to stay in. And then when it comes to buying the home, you want to do research about the paperwork that you're signing, like your closing statement. And that's my point number 2. At a first glance of a closing statement, it is overwhelming. There's so many line items and fees on there. And it can actually very easily be padded with fees that you could have advocated against. I have this one realtor. She just did me dirty. If I had done my research ahead, I would have known in the area that I was buying, in the state that I was buying at that time, the seller actually covers the commission. So that's the bonus that both the realtor from the seller side and the buyer side gets. This had these fees on mine, me being the buyer. She didn't even bother to advocate for me on it, educate me on it. And I was just moving through everything was looking jumbled and I was just signing things. Okay. Don't do that. But it's funny because now I became more educated about it as I went through buying homes. I became very familiar with every single line item. And so I was like, let me go back to all these other closing statements and documents I have. And these are huge packets. And I'm reading through it and I'm like, oh. Lesson learned. So don't make that mistake. Call up the title company, call up the agent if you have to, and say, hello there, Mr. Agent. Hello there, Mrs. Agent. I would love for you to explain to me these line items. And literally, if they have to go through it line item after line item, then they just got to do that, okay? And that is how you build your education to get comfortable with buying these houses. For number 3, underestimating renovation costs. And you will. But hopefully you won't do it as dramatically as I did when I started. Like, I was so delusional about the cost of materials, the cost of labor. Oh, Lord. And old houses will have issues about it that you do not see until you own it and it just decides to act up. So that should really be your mantra even before you start renovating an old house. And it's these houses know it just got a new owner. So it's let me act out a little bit. Let me show her that I can go off. My water tank can go zip in 2 seconds, that my furnace will be out the day or 2 before I bought it. That's a cool $8,000 replacement that I did not budget for. And that was not even including other maintenance and other things that I did not consider. An older house most likely would have some foundation or water issues. Everything's fixable if you plan for it, right? And it's even good to buy an older home and renovate it to its glory and be able to rent it to a family locally And so it also helps you with your buy at a lower price. You renovate it in the best budget you can and rent it at a decently good price. So once you get a sense of the age of a house and you know like the water tank has never been changed, the furnace hasn't been maintained, those are kind of like data points for you to know like, okay, I'm most likely going to change the water tank. We're going to need to bring a specialist in here to look at the furnace to see what the state is, or even potentially replacing the furnace if you need to. So especially when you're starting out, you want to be involved in the process. Like, I'm not a big advocate for buying properties out of state from where you're living. It's very feasible, it's very possible, but I would advise for you to start local and then build out, because you want to see what the processes are, what things are looking for. If a property manager calls you and is telling you BS and why you're going to be spending money doing X, Y, and Z, you're already calling the BS. You know it because you've experienced it already at home, or you're there to see what is being done and you're able to manage that, at least in the beginning. You know, now I'm able to hire somebody, bring them on board, kind of teach them the management and things like that. And that helps because it allows me to take a much more relaxed approach in investing, and it's fun on the side. So number 4 goes hand in hand, actually number 3. I grossly underestimated the time it would take me to complete renovations, because who could have thought contractors were this messy? I've had folks show up drunk. I've had folks tell me they're at the house working because they knew I was out of town. And I'm like, no, I'm back. I'm at the house. And like, oh, I didn't work today. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. Like, I could go on. The one who steals your materials, the one who's on drugs, but they show up real good. But then over time, you start seeing like the red flags. Like, this guy showed up with a gash on his face. And I'm like, oh, what happened to you? Talk about, I slammed my face into my wall. Sir, what? Why? Oh Lord. So eventually I had to gather myself. And one thing about being in a space of distress or in the pinch, creativity is at its finest. Okay, I didn't know I had all these skills in me. I enrolled in our YouTube university and I was out here. Your girl was painting, drywalling, laying flooring, and shout out to my girls Jessica and Lee, because they came through and we were out here renovating. I even learned how to epoxy, okay? And my epoxy game, by the way, is bar none. But you won't get me today to do none of that stuff, okay? Today I got a team. I was at Leo. I don't even pick up a pen, okay? I don't even pick up a nail. I'm like, oh, Leo, yes. So I've built it enough that the beauty about it is I know when you are fooling me, because now I feel like I understand how these homes are built in this area, the elements that you need to fix, what good looks like, and what you're looking for in repairs and things like that. And that's really what is important when you are an investor, so that you can work with those that are coming on board, setting your expectations and getting the work done properly in a timely manner and in budget, and actually like with the right mindset to grow with you. So my number 5 is I did too much too soon. See, I bought 5 homes. My first 5 homes I bought it in under 3 months. I wouldn't advise that, especially if you're doing it solo. Here's why. You can burn out very easily. Unfortunately, I was in a very traumatic space from my corporate experience. It had impacted my health. I felt like my life was literally being taken away from me. I would get these really bad stomach episodes anytime after I would like interact with my manager, and like doctors could not explain what was going on because they run all these tests on me and they still would not even be able to see anything. So that experience really left me feeling like I was no longer in the driver's seat of my career. So falling into real estate, even back then through all the pain, it was like therapeutic to be building something that will remove this ideology that I needed to succumb to such traumatic experiences in the workplace just to get my bills paid. No. So ideally, I should have taken much time from after that to just recoup, to heal, and then taking time to build out my portfolio. But let's be real, if you know me, I wasn't going to allow anyone to make me feel that I wasn't capable or worthy. This is also why I stress so much for you to rethink what it means to buy your first home. When you're done with this video, check out that other video that I go more in depth about it. I will put it at the end for you to watch it. But you know, now I have all the time in the world. I'm planning a few vacations. No, but like doing real estate investing really alters your brain chemistry. Making money doesn't have to be tied to the hours that you work at a job. For number 6, I'll say not presenting yourself as a team. What do I mean? Even if you're solo, you're accountable to lenders, insurance, taxes. It's a team. So you have to approach tenants that way. No, let me think about it, or like I statements. Because experienced renters or expert renters or something like that, they pick up on that. And they realize like, oh, it's just a little mom and pop. They can come and play games around here. Not around here, buddy. So you want to set the tone up front. If rent is late, you have a process in place. You try to work with them to resolve it. If that's not working, hey, that's not something I can control anymore because it's moved over to the attorney or the team is going to move it through evictions. And you just kind of like create that team that allows them to see that they're not here playing games with just some one person. And for number 7, I got to go back to the contractors. I will say it has to be not checking what it takes to be a contractor in your state or that area that you're investing in. One of my first contractor hires, I like to surprise them at the work site, okay? So I'm gonna just pop up and just be like, hello. Tell me how he had his like 5-year-old child out here painting my house. Sir, pack up. What do you mean? You trying to get me in trouble? So through all these contractor experiences, I had to sit back and I said, ain't no way. There's just no way that there is some intense process or training that folks have to do to get a license around here. Let me go see what it takes. Yep. Nothing. Just a little bond insurance or something, call it a day. And half of these jokers, I found out even their bond had expired. So they're just out here. So I was like, wait, I've got all the career experience. I can craft a plan around this. I can find my own key laborers and just manage them. And did that today. I sit here before you as a contractor. We actually bid for projects, and I've been able to help other investors locally get their properties rented, other homeowners, and I've been able to get extra jobs for them. This is the beauty about coming into this business, that it created a new line of business that who would have thought? Your girl, a whole contractor out here bidding out work for the guys. And it took me time to find the right guys, but once you find them, oh my gosh, ooh, just the level of work, the level of just dedication, that I actually get excited to find gigs for them, and they just want to work and they just want to make money so they can send it back home to Mexico to their family. And it's just so admirable to hear their stories, to hear their journeys, and for them to express their gratitude for you to do this for them. Who would have thought this opportunity would be birthed out of that? So subscribe to the channel, join our growing family, and let me know in the comments what you would like to know about my real estate investment journey, building up my cash to be able to go into real estate investing, and building a successful portfolio that generates over 24% on cash on cash return when the average is around 11 or 12%. So now you've learned from my mistakes. I know you're ready to buy your first investment property. I want you to rethink what it means to buy your first home. Check out this video here.